Yes, people, what's going on? Hope you guys are all doing well on this Friday evening. Of course, we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, Arsenal lost to Porto. Newcastle game's coming up next, so we got a Newcastle fan coming on. We got to talk about the big game between Chelsea and Liverpool. So we got Rack and Andrew in the house to talk about them. And of course, we have to talk about the Premier League weekend, as Manchester City still have business to do on the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to have Vader coming through to talk about that. And of course, before we go any further, people want to talk about the UCL match and how Arsenal lost to Porto, and people are going to say some what ifs and what ifs. So I'm going to let some of these guys get that out of the way first, but hope everyone's doing well. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I just want to say, did you guys watch that charity match between Chunks and Abu Hela? Because I thought that was an amazing charity match. The Sidemen and Soccer Aid, watch out, because what Chunks got going on in Qatar, selling out a 42,000 seat stadium, amazing. Big up to them. And I heard they raised over 7 million pounds. That is impressive. So big up to those guys. But yeah, man, we're gonna stay on the Premier League and a little bit about the UCL. First person I'm going to introduce is, of course, Rack is in the building, Liverpool fan, top of the table, ever so humble. Of course, if Ram was on the show today, he would have just been giving it the big in the whole time. So big up Rack for jumping on. I hope you're doing well. Next we got my guy Andrew in the building. Andrew, you know the thing is, Andrew, after a loss, you don't want to speak to him, but every other time he's very cool, calm, collected. Big up Andrew. How you doing?
I've only been losing this season. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, because I've only caught you after losses. Yeah, so every time I've seen you after a loss, you've been like super angry. But hey, now you're cool, calm, collective. I like it. Yeah. We got Specs in the building. Guys, be nice to Specs. He's exhausted. My man did a double shift and he still came on, so I appreciate it.
Respect to you, respect to the panel. Big game on the weekend. All this Porto business is business on Saturday. Your guys is my beloved Black or White. But
yeah, nice one, brothers. We're gonna get into it. We're looking for revenge on Saturday. Don't worry. That was kind of cringe. But hey, where's my guy? Vader's in the building coming through. What you saying, Vader? You're in the gym. I see you. My man's getting bigger. Okay, pumping some iron. Yep. If you guys don't know, this is his entrance.
What's good? Yeah, we got to talk a little Champions League, and obviously we're going to talk about the Prem. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for having me.
You know what? Let's just rip the bandage. Let's just get the show started. But before we go any further, people, don't forget the show is always sponsored by none other than SofaScore. Yes, big up to the title sponsor for Eagle Talks Football, SofaScore. Make sure you guys do download the app. It's the best football app out there for everything you need football. And of course, they also do other sports also. So it's your one-stop shop for all live scores for any sport. Check it out. Next, guys, let's get straight into it. The UCL, we did lose 1-0 to Porto, 94th minute. Take it away. Who wants to go first?
I think you should go first. Egal, you should go first.
Yeah, you go first, yes.
I've said everything I need to say. At this point, I need to hear what Andrew has to say. I need to hear what the likes of Vader has to say. I know Specs doesn't really want to say much on Champions League because his team got knocked out. And what do you call it? I know, Rack, you're going to have a couple words because you've beaten Porto convincingly. So who really wants to go first? Should we let Andrew go first? Because I know Andrew's short and quick and sweet. Usually.
Listen, I'm going to hold fire because there's still a second leg. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to really. I think you're still favourites to go through because you got a second leg. So all this, like, I will laugh at certain channels who said about, you know, the disrespect really to that you were going to walk up there or saying that Porto are worse than Burnley or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a learning curve, right? That's all it is. It's a learning curve. But I will hold fire a bit until after the second leg. Because otherwise we're going to look a bit foolish if we start going, and then you smoke them 4-0 in the second leg. So it's I'll hold fire, but you know, it's a learning curve. You guys need. I think it's a learning curve for everyone, including the fans, about You're in the Champions League now. You're in Europe now. You guys need to understand that you don't really have a lot of footprint in Europe. You need to establish yourself first. So I think, so I'll be like that. I won't go in as much. I'll let the others do it. Vega definitely will, but I'll let the others.
What are you saying, Rack? You got anything to say on this?
I mean, the thing is,
look at that smile.
Porto have European pedigree, and yes, they've had a few shaky results. Arsenal themselves have beaten them convincingly in the past, but I thought it was a bit crazy that people were talking about 4-0s and 5-0s and half the team are going to score and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I saw something that you were saying. You said something like, you were unrecognizable. Arsenal were unrecognizable. Is that right? I don't want to put words in your mouth. That's what you say. But I don't understand that statement, because the unrecognizable element of Arsenal this season has been the last 5 games. Before that, everybody was saying was, "Oh, wait till we click. Wait till our attack clicks. Then we're going to hit it." And your attack clicked in the last 5 games for sure. But before that, your attack wasn't clicking. So the anomaly is that now your attack has clicked. Is that the anomaly, or is it all the rest of the stuff? Because we've seen a lot of, and to be fair, a lot of the times when in the past when Liverpool have had good, really good seasons, when City have had good seasons, we're not always the most entertaining. Sometimes you have to. The year we won the Premier League, we were less entertaining than the year we finished second with 97 points, because we controlled games much more. We were more possession dominant. We weren't conceding chances, and I kind of get that. But I think I don't understand the statement when people say they Arsenal unrecognizable, because this has been Arsenal the vast majority of the season.
Okay, so you're saying the performance you've seen is what you've been seeing for majority of the season from Arsenal. What I was saying is, based on the last 5 games, how we were performing compared to what we did against them, it was somewhat unrecognizable. But I get your point.
You know what I'm saying? I think okay.
It's called Arsenal fans. That's what it's called, my brother. It's called Arsenal fans. Carry on.
You can give it. You can get it out. Get it out, because I know you got roasted when Newcastle lost.
Bro, like, I don't know, man. All of a sudden, I've got Arsenal fans that hate me. All till now, since the last game, I'm still getting abuse.
You did a video egging us on, smoking a spliff after the game.
Bro, that was a private group chat, and somehow I said, "No, I'm lying. I did it on Instagram." You're right, but because I'm small, I know I'm big. I didn't think it'll go. You know what I mean? But it's all good, bro. But I'll let you carry on.
Every platform. What are you talking about?
No, I only put it on Instagram and the group chat, and then somehow. No, I didn't put it on Twitter. Say no names. All the other Arsenal guys, say no names. The pod guys, they put it out there, and others, I won't say no names. They put it out there when we started losing. But it's all good, bro. I don't see where the rivalry is between Newcastle and Arsenal, because I see it in the DMs or I see it on the NUFC Instagram official. Every time we lose, Arsenal fans are on it or they're on my case, and I don't know. I think you're hurting from the last game, obviously.
You know what? I think we need to save this for the next segment.
Yeah, definitely.
That to me.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's appropriate for me to speak last, because on this panel, I'm the only one and yourself that are competing in Champions League. So let me be the authority right now. That game epitomizes what Champions League is all about. And I love your content, Igal. The consistency, what you're able to put out there with regards to Arsenal. The fact that you have a better 11 versus Bayern, Real Madrid, doesn't matter. You're playing Porto. It doesn't matter when you do your combined 11s and how many players you have that are better than Real Madrid's or Bayern Munich. When it comes down to Porto, you didn't have them. So there's a learning curve. I just did a show earlier today. It's growing pains. You're living through some growing pains as you mature. And obviously you've had your success, but you're getting back to the Champions League. You're just going through the difficulties of figuring what it's all about. Now, if you think it's going to get any easier, it's not. If you're going to rely on things that happened in the past, you beat Porto, you smashed Porto in the past, forget about it. Because a lot of your fan base said the same thing last season. You know what? We crashed out of Europa. And we can win the league. You know why? Because City crashed out of Europa and they won the league that year. History doesn't repeat that way. So you guys better fix up, because Porto's going to give you a match and they got nothing to play for now. All they need to do is defend for their lives. So it's growing pains. I'm not counting you out because you got a generational manager, but you got to prove it.
Now, you don't believe the manager part, do you?
He's got something. There's something there. Especially the last 2 seasons, Klopp wasn't able to get a point off him. Get a win off of him. So he's showing signs, man. He's showing signs. I can't hate on Arteta.
So you'll take him when Pep leaves then, yeah?
I think
that's
I
not
think
leaving for another 4 years.
I think he would. I think he would take Pep.
In 4 years, Arteta 4 years more mature and experienced. We'll have the conversation.
Oh, guys, by the way, Jay is like impeccable timing. Just before we're about to move on to Porto, I messaged him. I said, we're going to move on from Porto. We'll talk about it when you get here. But just he appears out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. He's
someone told me, they said to me, they said, Arsenal didn't win. I said, that's okay. So it's okay. It's not like the fans assumed that they were just going to blast Porto. I mean, that would be the embarrassing part of it. If you respected European heritage, i.e., I don't know, Porto have a Europa League, Porto have a Champions League. They are a side to be respected. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, this Arsenal super team, this team of young Galacticos, Trossard up top, you lost. And not only did you lose, you played some proper, hey, we don't want to concede anything. We're just going to keep it tight. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But you still lost. Like, how do you go to play for a draw, lose in the 95th, 96th minute, right? Screamer, great goal. Loved it. Personally, loved it. Yeah? I think the rest of the panel liked it too. And then, obviously, moving forward now, you got a big second leg. You put a lot of pressure on yourself. You personally as well, Gal, because you were talking quite spicy before the game. What was it? 4-0? 4-0 you thought you were going to win?
Don't you have to get shots on target to score 4-0?
You do need to shoot on target to get goals. That is what I missed you giving context for the defeat. I'm sure, did he give some good context?
So Jay, did you? I forgot to mention this, Jay. Did you know that they haven't won a knockout? They haven't gone through knockout stages since 2009. Arsenal in the Champions League.
I heard Saka was 14 years old the last time Arsenal scored in the Champions League knockout. That's what I heard. 14 years old.
World class. How old are you when that happened? How old are you when that happened?
In 2009.
You have to answer.
I was 18.
Wow. Wow, man.
World
class. You're a baby, then.
Been a hurtful 20 years.
Listen, do you think, does everyone think they're going to go through? Because, I actually have a theory now, yeah? And it's a new theory. Obviously, going off the back of the success of the recent theories, such as, Doku, gym membership, baby oil, So, but obviously, my new thing, right, is what's it with you guys and Portuguese teams? You don't fancy it. The Portugueses, they're not having it. No, Sporting last year, Porto this year. I think it's a Spanish-Portuguese inferiority complex. That's my new Arteta theory. Do you know what I mean? He has an inferiority complex of the Portuguese. That's why he doesn't play Fabio Vieira. You know what I mean? I'm onto it.
Fabio Vieira just came back from injury.
Yeah, he just came back. No, but you know what? In all seriousness, though, and like, look, even with
I was being serious.
No, I know you're being serious. No, I know. Sorry, I know you're being serious. I'm just like, I could be wrong. Like, obviously, Arsenal's whatever, but I'll talk on it. Even after that loss, because if I'm correct, did they have no shots on target? Is that correct?
Yep, no shots
on target. Which was quite surprising. People might mock it and say, "Oh, I'm not surprised." I'm surprised. Champions League is a different kettle of fish. Believe me, I know now. But I genuinely believe, I do think they will go through. I genuinely believe they will go through. They might have put all the fame for their lives, whatever they sell. I think at the Emirates, they will go through somehow. And I genuinely believe, and people laughed at me before, they might laugh now, but I do believe Arsenal potentially can be one of the teams, and happy to say it, to go quite far in this competition. It's a knockout competition. I think it's open for more than just the favourites. Even Dortmund in there and other teams. I believe Arsenal, I think it's a good opportunity for them.
I personally appreciate how you took your.
This is how you're supposed to respect your opponent.
Your foot off the gas as you approach that take. You really eased off the accelerator because when you started quite Arsenal are gonna, and then you're like, hold on, let me.
He's got to play
potentially. No, honestly, if you check it, because I believe
if you can't convince yourself, how are you going to convince us?
No,
okay, guys. Somebody had to leave at 8, right? Somebody had to leave at 8, if I'm not mistaken. So it was Specs. So we need to.
They was like, I've got time.
We need to get into the Newcastle game. I'm just going to say this. Porto, no excuses. We lost in the final minute. We were extremely negative. We let them get the control back of the game. It wasn't we let them. They just took control back of the game. Their game plan worked to perfection. They stuck around. And at the end, they took their chance. It was a beautiful strike. And you could blame the goalkeeper. You can blame the stupidity from Martinelli kicking the ball into a dangerous area. You can blame the defending. But at the end of the day, it's a team performance. As a team, we did not perform positive, and we did not create enough chances to win that game. So I cannot sit here and tell you guys any excuses that we just got beat by the better team on the day. Are we the better team overall? We'll find out in the home leg, because I believe this team is still good enough to go beat them, and I think I'm not worried. A lot of people are saying, oh, you lost 1-0 in the first tie. It is what it is. I've seen this story many times. Second tie, we're going to do this. This whole thing about Arsenal playing in the round of 16, losing. We've been losing to Bayern Munich and Barcelona every year when they had freaking their prime years. So it's a completely different situation now.
Just before you go on, could I just ask, what round did you go out last year in the Europa League, and what team was that you went out to? Because when you say we've seen this story before, we did see this story before.
No, but we drew
to a Portuguese team.
1 second. Last year was a completely different situation. 1, the player scored from halfway mark. 2, that was the first time I witnessed a loss.
Yeah, this was only a third of the pitch, you see. It was only a third of the pitch.
Second of all, first time I ever witnessed a loss in my life at an Arsenal game where I've gone to. Then, where's this?
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. And then also, it went to penalties and we lost in penalties. So I'm willing to accept that. It is what it is. Last year we had bigger fish to fry. This year we don't. We gotta win everything. Let's see how far we can get. Now let's go.
So, did you say you're going to the return leg? You're going to the Emirates for the return leg.
Echo.
Yeah. Where's the sound coming from? One second.
One second.
I think it's Jay. I definitely think it's Jay.
Why?
Oh no, it's not.
Man just excuse me. I was trying to get to the solution.
No, I think it's gone. I think it's gone.
I'm sat on the remote control and he's like, get up. I'm like, no, it's not me.
Because I muted you as the first person, and then it went away. I don't know, whoever had something playing in the background probably. Anyways, let's get back to this weekend. There's not a lot of Premier League games this weekend, so what we're gonna do is, since Tottenham are not playing, we're just gonna kind of touch on every other game. The Carabao Cup final. Tottenham's not playing because you guys were playing Chelsea, of course, so you get a little break. Who else is not playing? Liverpool's not playing a Premier League game. Who are you facing this week, Rack?
I think did you pull the game forward? Was that who you played on Wednesday? Was that?
Yeah, we played Luton. I don't know the reason why that happened, because it was also a bit odd that who else? Someone else was supposed to play. I don't know. Anyway, I don't, because someone's game got cancelled. I can't remember whose game got cancelled. Chelsea's game got cancelled. But I'm not really sure why that was. But our game obviously went ahead.
It's supposed to be tonight.
Yeah.
Our game was supposed to be
Chelsea's game was supposed to be tonight, but it got cancelled. What do you call it? Ozan Kabak saying, Newcastle, please do something for us tomorrow night. Come on, Ozan Kabak. I know you're a Liverpool fan, but you really think Newcastle going to beat Arsenal? Explain that to me. Guys, in the comments.
Wow. Okay, girl.
No, because even whenever you come to our ground, it's not a good hunting ground for you. Let's be honest.
But the last time we came, we draw 0-0. We draw
Yeah. You got a 0-0 last year.
So that's irrelevant.
Listen. Last year, you guys got a 0-0. I'll give it to you. But if you remember recent history between Arsenal and Newcastle,
they beat you this season.
1 second,
we have been at Emirates,
bro. That game was absolute sham. Anyways, we're not talking about that game. Let's get into the actual game here.
Glad you're over it, Gal.
Arsenal at home versus Newcastle. 9 times out of 10 we win. Over the last decade, I think they've only gotten 1 point at the Emirates.
But times have changed a bit, Gal. Just a little bit, mate.
Yeah, can I add on this, Gal? Like, look at it like this, right?
It's the same Newcastle, bro.
Newcastle, in the last 3 games, have they not beat you twice and drawn once?
Yeah, at their ground.
So they beat you. They beat you last season, or did you beat them last season?
They beat us at our ground last season.
Yeah,
we won this season.
So basically, Newcastle
beat before last season. Yeah. In the last 3 years, yeah.
But basically, Newcastle have had injuries all season.
Let me just explain my logic. Forget about the history thing. I believe Arsenal Football Club, when we're at the Emirates, it's a completely different story. People come to our ground. You're going to see it's not of old where people can just show up to the Emirates and expect to get wins. You got Man City and Liverpool coming to our ground and not taking nothing back. So I'm expecting Arsenal from now until the rest of the season, home games, to have a home advantage, to perform at a higher level than they do away from home, where it's a more hostile environment where they have to be a little bit more cagey, and the opposing team is a little bit more positive. Where when we're at our ground, majority of the teams come there are very negative, and we have to just find a way to unlock the key. And I expect Newcastle to come there and to be extremely negative, extremely physical. And I think that Arsenal, with the way that we've been playing over the last couple of weeks in the Premier League, I think we're going to have enough to unlock them on the day. And that's just me. But
no, it's a good theory. My counter theory to that, and the more you spoke then, the more I thought, actually, because now I look at Newcastle and I think, who are the teams that have given Arsenal issues? Yeah. Mid-block. Yeah. So I don't want to go all tactical on you guys. So let's just say team sitting kind of on the halfway line and not pressing. Yeah. Newcastle can do that. Newcastle are a team that can play in exactly the same way that Fulham played against you, exactly the same way that West Ham played against you. Newcastle can replicate that. Yeah, they do that. And when they do it, they'll have Gordon, they'll have Harvey Barnes, they'll have Isak. Yeah, they'll have these people on the counter playing that style. That, to me, they could cause you a good amount of problems. Just duplicate. Even Porto, low mid-block, counter-attack. Like, these teams are getting joy against you. Newcastle can get joy against you. Play it exactly the same way. And because I've seen Newcastle play that way, I think they can definitely do it as well. There's a reason why Eddie Howe was going watching Simeone and all that sort of shit when he was when he took a little break. He can cook something for you.
Newcastle have one big advantage though. Joe Willock and Alexander Isak might be back.
Apparently on the bench. Apparently, hopefully. But for me, everything you said, brother, love that. Spot on. Trust me, you know your homework, you get me. But it depends how stubborn Eddie's going to be, because he can take this one man to mash up the whole thing. If he's going to carry on playing the 4-3-3, cool. But is he going to have Dan Burns playing on that same side that he's been getting targeted over and over and being suspect for most of the goals and some of the leaks? Everything's been targeting that. Saka's going to be amped up for the Porto game. I don't think we're going to double up as well as we have in the past against Arsenal. If it's not Dan Burns, I'll be pissed. I'm starting to think, will Eddie go 5 at the back, push Dan Burns in a bit, 3-3, and just have Tino start? It depends. If Eddie's going to keep being stubborn, but take Burns out and just put Tino in there, which will make more sense.
Could switch Trippier over too.
All of that, but he doesn't even need to. Just put Tino in there. You know what I'm saying?
You might want to play Tino right back because Saka being on the right side, you might want Trippier because he's better defensively than Livramento, and he'd be cutting onto Trippier's stronger foot.
I think Tino's good at both, man. Like, especially looking at just the pace of things. It will make sense. Because look, Arsenal dangerous on any side.
Bro, are you coming into this game? I want to know. Are you coming into this game off the back of good form and you're confident now?
Brother, I would love to be confident and bant like I did last year when I had loads of chess. But if we're going to be honest, I was a original troll. If we're going to be honest,
you haven't lost in your last 5. That's what I'm saying. You're coming in with
from the outside of Newcastle, that's a good look, and it's a good look for me as well. But we've seen things that have frustrated us where we could have got some wins out of that, and there's a bit of So that is a positive thing. We've been unbeaten for a while. We can take that into the Arsenal game. But I'm just concerned about the left-hand side. And Arsenal are on form in the Premier League. Let's keep it real. I'm not as optimistic. I kept it 100 from a few days ago. I said I'll go to London. Well, from London. I'll let Newcastle go London and I'll take a draw. Honestly, I'll take a draw. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I need a win minimum and I want a clean sheet.
You need to win because Liverpool somehow keep grinding out.
Because of my circumstance, I can't be like, I just need any result. Obviously, I need a win, but I also want to see a bounce back performance off the back of what happened in Porto. I don't want to see my team have back-to-back poor games because then it can spiral into something worse.
It can go either way, Gav. It can go either way. The Arsenal that we know.
From your perspective, no pressure on you guys. From my perspective, all the pressure on Arsenal. And this is where Rack comes into play because his team went 5 points clear of Arsenal and 4 points clear of Liverpool. Of Man City. Do you think this is an advantage, the fact that you played that game so early and now you kind of have that little gap?
I mean, it just depends on how you guys take it, right? Like, I know people always say, it's good to go first and get the points on the board, and then, people have the pressure. But then, but I can also see an advantage to the other team going first, and then you know what you need to do, kind of thing. So, it depends on which way you want to look at it. All we know is that Arsenal need to win, and Arsenal need to keep winning. And then they'll make it. Then they're gonna. Their job is to try and make it as difficult as possible. Same as our job is. And look, we had it was a bit scary on Friday on Wednesday because first of all we started obviously quite a disjointed first 11, but then I looked at the bench. I thought, okay, right, maybe Darwin and Mo are on the bench, so if we need them, they can come on. Look to our right, there's no bench. Our bench was like Andy Robertson and a load of kids. And so that's a bit concerning because obviously this is the business end of the season. But we have got the points on the board. We are top of the league. And, if as the games go on, the games become more and more important and they become almost can't lose games. Because if, for example, Arsenal were to lose or even get a draw, potentially that point is that gap is small. That gap will be 4 points. Not insurmountable, but it becomes difficult. So, let's put the pressure on Arsenal. Let's see if
yes and no, I guess. So you're saying yes and no. Yes, because you have the points. No, because it's always pressure, right?
Yeah. It's tough at the top. It's tough at the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Rax, you've definitely changed. Like new haircuts. Like I'm adjusting my hair just because I'm a little bit anxious because of how nice his hair looks. I'm like, It's top of the top. Liverpool, yeah.
Look at Andrew. The moment you said he's just the air, Andrew went like this too.
Yeah.
It's contagious. Look, Andrew, talk to me before we get to Jay and Vader, because I know they like to have their moments and no one interrupt them.
So yeah, I think you need to obviously have a big bounce back from the performance midweek, and also you're not playing midweek because that's the FA Cup games midweek, so you've got a nice week break in between. So I expect you to go strong. I think you need to go strong tomorrow. Newcastle, yeah, they haven't lost in 5 or they're undefeated in 5, but you know they are leaking a lot of goals at the moment. You know, they've come back 4-4 draw at Luton, 2-2 draw last week. Will Eddie Howe go extra defensive? Yeah, I think he might do, just to say get the point and move on from there. But I do expect you to win. If I'm honest with you, in my opinion, not a battering, but like a 2-1, something like that, popping out. But you desperately need to win. All I would keep telling Arsenal fans is stop worrying about Liverpool and Man City results. Just do your own results, because you can only do that. Do you know what I mean? You have to be there to capitalise. That's all. So don't worry. Just get the job done this weekend. Liverpool aren't playing. City have got a toughish fixture away to Bournemouth. You've got a tough one at home to Newcastle. Just get it done. But I really think you need to bounce back just to get the Porto thing out of your minds as quickly as possible. Get a refocus back. You've got a week then free between league games and then just build it up from there. But, you know, I do expect to win. So,
bro, if we lose to Newcastle, it's going to be an absolute catastrophe. But
man.
What you saying, Vader?
Egal, Arsenal. This is, if there is ever an exaggeration, but it's accurate, a must-win. This is a must-win, and the reason why I got to stress it's a must-win is because it's not because Liverpool and Manchester City are going to drop points. It's not because the season's over. It's because your fan base, mentally, they're weak. Your fan base mentality is weak. They can't suffer another drop in points, another poor performance. They would lose. Igal, you know this. That's why you're nodding your head. They would lose their minds. I saw their reaction after this Porto. I checked out the terrace. I could have shamelessly accepted the link and joined and been on the panel the same way Saad was, and he failed to show his face on there and he wanted to talk about Manchester City. I could have done that. But I was like, you know what? The reaction to this Porto loss, if you guys lose to Newcastle, especially a lot of you haven't forgotten because you're still whining about the refs. You're quick to tell me and my fan base, and you're quick to tell Professor not talk about refs, but you guys are ready to cry about the refs and what was called or not called in that game. You guys haven't forgotten that. And I also, you know how close or how fragile this 3-horse race is. So you have to win. It is a must win. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. It is a must win. And for the sake of your fan base, you need it.
You know what? I like the fact that you put it in. You said the same thing we all said, but you added a little bit more spice that no one mentioned.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do.
I like it. I like it.
Sorry, quickly. If we beat you, which is, we don't know, but if we do, you know you ain't going to hear the end of it from me, bro. To the point I probably won't be able to even walk in the Emirates again.
Listen, let me use a Liverpool line. You guys are the underdogs going up against Arsenal on this weekend.
And so be it, man. So be it. Get me. I'm all up.
You want to know something? The last team that was a favorite going to my ground was Man City. That's the reality.
But you guys aren't going to play them like that.
Majority of teams that come to our ground are underdogs. That's the reality.
They should be.
Yeah.
You hear that, Rack? You're living off that, yeah?
You hear that?
No, it's true. Liverpool were down some players. But look, how do we have 110 people, but we don't even have 40 likes, people? Do me a favor.
This is worse than Arsenal's shot on target rate.
It helps the channel out massively. Just hit the like button. I'm not even asking for no comments. I mean, you could do that if you want. It's absolutely free also. But please do hit the likes, I'll do all that.
Stop being Arsenal on Wednesday and hit the target. That's it. That's all you need to do.
It's free, baby.
Like Eddie and Ketia. Now
Yeah,
let's
come on.
Eddie Nketiah stray was unnecessary, but hey.
Yeah,
That was terrible.
See, that's your own player. This is what Arsenal
player,
people.
bro.
This is what Arsenal people are
Okay,
like.
I should have said Nicholas Jackson or Darwin Nunes, right?
No, it's too late. It's too late.
This week, Nicholas Jackson.
Or
had
you
a
know what?
positive
Or you know
impact on his
what?
team.
Based on how he performed last week, I could have said Erling Haaland.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Don't do that.
Never.
Anyways, you know what the funniest thing I seen was? Jay, your boy Eric Dyer got sold to Bayern, and Bayern are already saying they have concerns about his pace.
Of course. Of course. Of
You
course. Of course. Anyway, listen.
It's not even 6 months. They're like, fuck this guy.
no takey backsies. Do you know what I mean? As in, like what's
No take
what
back?
is going?
If
No
they,
take
if they were willing to
Bon
stand you guys
voyage,
Harry Kane
mon
back,
frère.
1 second, if they were willing to give you Harry Kane back, would you take him?
What do you mean? Listen.
Answer the question.
I've started my.
Answer
Harry
the
Kane.
I've got the
question,
receipt. I've
Jay.
got the receipt. My
It's not
28
a Harry
days. My
Kane
28
Would
days is
you
up.
take Harry Kane back today?
Answer the
No.
question.
No, maybe. It's not for me to say. It's a hypothetical. It will never happen.
Who's gonna take him back?
Let me
No,
not
I'm gonna
In
clip
a
this.
heartbeat.
I'm gonna clip this. I'm just gonna say it again. I need a reasoning. So Jay,
What?
if Bayern Munich came to Tottenham today and said, we're not going to pay you the rest of our fee, but we'll give you back Harry Kane for free, would you take it?
Well, I mean, first of all, that's some sort of UEFA tribunal. Primarily.
But that's like
Primarily,
business
this
suicide. That'd be
is
like 50
outside-
million for a season loan.
This is outside my wheelhouse of expertise. But let me take a stab at it. Just okay. So if Harry Kane could come back to listen, Harry is an amazing striker, and we had some good times. No great times, but some good times. And the thing is that what's done is done. It's better to look forward than to look back. And personally, what's the next question?
Okay, done. Now the next question is everybody here. Before we go to Jay, I'm gonna say my score prediction: 3-1 Arsenal. Jay, I'm gonna let you finish off with your whole speech on Arsenal Newcastle. Specs, what's your score prediction?
Again, 2-1 Arsenal.
Rack?
I've predicted Arsenal to drop points in the last few weeks, and it hasn't really happened. So I'm going to reverse my my prediction. I'm going to say Arsenal win 2-0.
Okay, don't go too early, Rack. That's my job. What you saying? Winter Surfer?
I said, I'll go 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Vader?
Yeah.
Listen, you're playing at the carpet, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you like the surface nice and smooth, no bumps. That's what you guys play well on, right? You struggled going over to Porto. I heard your fan base complaining about the grass or the waterlogged pitch.
No.
Back at the carpet, you guys should handle your business. If you're serious about this title race, 3-1.
There you go. There was 11 Bruno Fernandez's. What do you mean? Go ahead, Vader.
Nah, Jay. You mean Jay.
Oh, sorry. What did I say, Vader? My bad. Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, so listen, I'm going with the draw. The reason why I'm going with the draw is I just think when I look at it, if Eddie Howe doesn't get the draw, he's an idiot. Because Eddie Howe can see how West Ham got points off you, how Fulham got points off you, how you lost to Porto, how you lost to Lens, and he has a team that can play in that way. The team is capable of mimicking those plans. He has
We haven't got all our players, bro. We haven't got all our players, and it's easier said than done, bro.
If Joe Linton was there, man.
I'm just a bit suspect, bro.
Let him land his point. Then
So the way I'm looking at this is that there's a template that Arsenal find it difficult to play against. There is a template. Now Newcastle can duplicate that template, and the player quality they have can expose you on the counter. Like this is how I look at this. I'm not saying they will, but Eddie Howe can duplicate Fulham's game plan against you. He can duplicate Lens' game plan. He can duplicate Porto's game plan. And you know he can, because when you went to Newcastle earlier in the season, It was a very bitty, stop-start, low level of chance game. So all I'm saying from this point of view is Newcastle, I was checking their fixtures. Since in the last few games, right? Like, just to think about how Newcastle are performing. They went to Villa and won. Yeah. They went to Fulham in the FA Cup and won. They went to Forest and won. This is all in the last 5 games. So these are very good results for any team. And so they've done it under the radar. People haven't really seen it. They're in decent form. They can do something. Whether or not they do, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say the draw. 1-1.
Okay, so you're not sure what they could do, but you're giving them a draw anyways for vibes.
No, I'm saying I'm not sure. You can have the best plan in the world. Whether or not it delivers on the day, it might not. It might deflect off Dan Burns' arse in the 92nd minute, and everyone's KKK and saying, "Oh, Jay, you're wrong." Do you know what I mean? As in, like, I'm just saying they have a blueprint that they can succeed against you with. Let's see if Eddie Howe goes for it. I think if he goes for it, they could do a good job. Like, I don't think Newcastle have had a good season compared to last season, but I think they're capable of very good games. Even when they played City, they gave them a hell of a game. You know what I mean? As in, like, they can put in good performances. So I think it'll be a tough game for Arsenal.
Fair enough. Specs, I know you got to head off. We're going to talk about the Carabao Cup final now. Links to your channel, Vader's channel, and of course, Casual FC for Andrew is in the chat. So make sure you guys check that out also. We got 108 people in the chat. Let me know your score prediction for the Arsenal Newcastle game is also. I had one person come on my chat the other day and say we're going to beat you 4-0. So I hope that happens. He's gone. Listen, let's talk about the final. Did you guys see Xhaka's goal yesterday? A ridiculous goal.
Today, or
was it today or was it yesterday?
It must be today. I swear they're playing today.
Yeah.
Goal, and then had the hamstring thing happen to him where he's like, you can't move in your leg. You're touching the back.
They're drawing at the moment, actually. 1-1 half time.
It's 2-1 down.
It's just 2-1. That's someone in the chat saying.
2-1 what?
You know what? This week football is weird. This week football is weird. You got Liverpool City playing midweek games during Champions League. You have a Friday match.
You are fake news, Skulex. You are fake news.
Offside.
You have a situation where there's a Friday night game between Tottenham and Chelsea, which was supposed to be lit, and that's getting cancelled. You now have a Saturday 8 p.m. game. The Newcastle Arsenal game is an 8 p.m. game, you guys know, on Saturday night. When was the last time you seen an 8 p.m. game on a Saturday night? Newcastle always seem to have the big games. Why is that? Interesting, right? Beats me. And now, before we get to the cup final, I just want to talk about Man City for a second. Did you guys think they were shaky in that last game? Because they always do this. Man City have this thing where they get me sucked into the game, watching the game closely. And I'm like, you're going to drop points.
That's called
and
hate.
Then I'm just recycling it in my head. I'm just saying to myself, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. First half comes through. No shots. I'm like, this is the best game ever. Let's continue. Hopefully, the same thing happens second half. And then they come out, and what do? They just win. Somehow, they win. And you know what? The worst part about it, insult to injury, the 1 week where I need Man City to score goals and do well and have Erling Haaland score a bunch of goals for my fantasy team, I triple captain him. He's playing 2 games. He scores 1 goal. Yeah, the XG of 4 scores 1. Mental.
Can I just say quickly? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? The amount of times I've hate watched Arsenal this season for 90 minutes. For Declan Rice to score a header against Luton in 90 plus something, for Havertz to score against Brentford in 90. Bro, I have been waiting on Arsenal's downfall so many times this season to score 90th minute winners. City are at least scoring in like the 70th minute. You know what I mean? You can close your laptop. You can get about with your day. You've saved 20 minutes there. Not you, not Arsenal. Disrespectful to my time. Look at you guys.
I just think I'm pleased for Vader that they able to, because I know that City are always underdogs in every game they play. So I know for Veta that it was all good. They was able to overcome another hurdle in this, because I know how much they are. Every game is such a struggle for them to play. And I know when we go to the City build up, it'll be something like, oh, we're just stumbling through at this moment in time, and we're just picking up the results and all that. So I'm glad you overcame the odds against Brentford.
Oh my goodness, this is the thing, Igal. As you were speaking, and I politely did interrupt, but we're entertaining, right? We're entertaining. You said it yourself. You had to watch. You had to watch because City don't look like City, right? City don't look like City, so we draw you in. And you know what? I hear it. I'm all the way. I'm all the way on the other side. I'm here in Toronto. When I can hear the I can feel the energy. I can hear everyone being like, City are dropping points. City are dropping points. And you know what I can also hear? When we score, I hear it. It echoes. Every rival go, oh. It resonates. It comes all the way across the pond. I hear it. All of you like, oh. Listen, it's going to be.
No, I want you to win.
You wanted us to win.
I want you to win.
Oh, for your fantasy?
I'm sorry, I can't. No, I can't have Arsenal win or Liverpool.
What, fantasy football?
Gotcha.
Make sure you have the football.
Gotcha.
Make sure you have the football on that comment.
Vader, you still need to remember, in Chelsea and Tottenham are rooting for you guys to win.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, I can see that.
Well,
but then we got obviously Liverpool rooting for themselves. We got Arsenal rooting for themselves. We got United.
We don't have a hate.
You got United fans
really,
rooting for Arsenal.
United fans are rooting for Arsenal. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
Nah, Liverpool and Spurs kind of hate each other. Like, I feel
we're friends.
There's no hate in my heart. There's no hate in my heart.
I think
other than United.
But no, I feel like things happen with Liverpool Spurs we have a moment, like for example, like every game we have, every 1 and 2 games,
controversial moment,
big, huge. Like for example, when Jota kicked Skip in the face and then scored the winner, like as in like when Robertson got sent off in that game, but Kane didn't. Like when we got a penalty against you, Lamella in the last minute, and Van Dijk said he never touched it. Like there's always like
Liverpool are notorious.
But guys, let's bring it back for 1 second.
Yeah.
City played the game against Brentford. We don't need to go over that too much. We can just go forward, look into Bournemouth. Surely they're not going to drop points away to Bournemouth, right?
Igal, can I really quickly just ask, because I don't think I've ever heard your opinion on Foden Saka, and I thought it was pertinent to ask the question. I've not heard his opinion on it. I don't think I've ever specifically heard what Igal thinks about Foden and Saka, especially on his channel.
First of all, they're two different players. But if you want to compare them as wingers, Foden predominantly has played a lot in the wing. Saka's better than there. Foden, you can say he's technically more gifted in the sense of how he gets his goals, how he creates his chances, and how he plays. Maybe you could say that. But when it comes to the actual quality, I think it's unfair to say that Saka's not world class because he's not in a team that's winning all these trophies. But Foden, who's a bit part player of a team that's
whoa. No. See, Jay, why did you do this? Jay, why did you do this?
Soul to me now.
One second.
I'll be back in 45 minutes. Debate's over.
Let me see my point. The thing that winds me up and pisses me off is when people start saying, oh, he's world class because his team wins Champions Leagues and wins leagues and Saka's in a dead team. I'm like, you've answered your question.
No,
he's in a team full of great players. Of course, it's easier for him to stand out. We've seen with this Arsenal team, we've put Eddie Nketiah in there with a good team around him. He looks a lot better. Where if you would have slapped Eddie Nketiah into the team where we had Lacazette and Pepe back in the day, he would have looked like a shell of what he currently is.
You know what?
Even though he's not that good.
You know what?
I'm not saying Phil Foden is bad. I'm saying Phil Foden is a good player. I'm saying Phil Foden is quality. But if you're going to gauge him as if he's done it, he's done everything. If Saka hasn't done anything, you can, in one breath, you're saying that. But in the other breath, you're looking at him in the same team for England. One man's playing, the other one's on the bench. You're seeing a situation where Saka is carrying an Arsenal team. I don't know if Foden would have been able to do that. So there's a lot of questions about why we're comparing these two. But if you want to genuinely just say one is world class, I think you should say the other one isn't. But if you want to say both of them aren't world class, I think that's fair also. Just my whole stance is you can't say one is this and the other one isn't, because I relatively think they're either close or Saka's superior.
No, Jay, no. The fact that this topic even came up is bothering me because Igal just spoke for like 3 minutes, and I'm looking at my clock now, and I have to drop, and I want to speak about Manchester City now. We'll get back to this Foden and Saka talk. Trust me on this one. Trust me. We will. And this comparison isn't going to go away. I realize that. Are you
going to beat Bournemouth? By how much?
We were expected to beat Bournemouth.
That's a hard game. That's a tricky game.
It's a very difficult game. It looks like I got no KDB because he's dealing with a little niggle.
What?
Yeah. He didn't play in the last game. He didn't even warm up. So we got KDB. I got to worry about. Obviously, Gavardio hasn't been in the mix. Stones hasn't shown either, and it's a matter of managing these games, because after I play Bournemouth, then I got to play Luton Town midweek for the FA. So the games are piling up, and then not to get too far ahead of myself, because it's one game at a time. Bournemouth, Luton Town, but after that, 4 days later, I believe, Manchester Derby. So this is going to be a tough week for me. I need all of you. I need your positive vibes, all of your encouragement for Manchester City to do their thing this weekend. Bournemouth game for the sake of the league. No, Rax, hear me out, Rax. Igal, hear me out. For the sake of the league, the Prem, this 3-horse race, you want City to win. Let's keep this going.
For the good of football.
For the good of football. You want City to win, so this horse race remains nice and close. The three of us are going neck and neck.
You little horse. You and your little horse. Get your horse back in the stable.
Well, okay.
I just retweeted.
I'll tell you this, Vader. Nobody cares if City win. Nobody cares if City win.
That's a damn lie.
If City lose, best believe. If City drop points, best believe everyone will care. So if you want to be forgotten, all you got to do is win. If you want to be celebrated, you need to lose or drop points. How about that?
We have to win. There's no have to play at a certain level. We have to win. That's the thing. Plain and simple.
For the good of football.
For the good of football, we have to win. For the good of football, we have to win.
The good of football would be if a team doesn't do a 4-peat in the Premier League.
No, that is actually not true. And I see what you're doing. You're going to actually keep me here for another 5 minutes because I got to talk about this.
No, but the reality is, Vader, even Leicester fans that aren't in the Championship, even Aston Villa fans who hate Arsenal would tell you they would rather have Liverpool or Arsenal
win.
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie.
That's a damn lie. No,
I know the two fans here probably don't care that much about Arsenal and Liverpool win. They probably care more about Arsenal and Liverpool winning, and they wouldn't mind you winning. But I would say a large majority of the external, outside of the top 6, would rather another team win the Premier League to show that the league is not a farmer's league.
No, Igal, the reason why you're wrong, and I need all of them, those that believe that, to tune into my channel and get an education. Because with City doing this, they need to understand the big picture. You have so much chess. You have so much history talk from Manchester United. We need to dead that. We need to have them silent. We need to have them muted. You know how you mute them? City win this 4-peat, so Manchester United have nothing to say. They have nothing to say. And then that's for the better sake. That's for the better life, the better cycle of football with Manchester City. Because listen, because our fan base, like you said, our fan base are small. You don't hear about us. Our fan base are humble. You don't hear about us. So let's win this 4, and it's calm.
I'm going to clip this up. Simple answer. I want to know, does everyone agree with me? I think a large majority of teams would rather somebody else win the Premier League this year. Do you guys agree?
Well, it depends. It depends on who you support. Like, for example, I would prefer a rival to not win if I could help it. Do you know what I mean? And also,
so Jay, you want City to win.
There's a number of teams who are trying to rebuild, who are trying to do projects, who are trying. Nobody wants to see Arsenal. Nobody wants to see Arsenal cross the line. Nobody wants to see Arsenal cross the line.
If you're a West Ham fan, would you rather
nobody?
1 second. Put yourself in the shoes of a West Ham fan, a Brentford
Bro,
fan.
after they saw you Declan Rice, do you think they want to see him? No.
Would they not want Liverpool to win?
No.
Of course. Over you. Of course.
Listen.
Bro, they sold you then. Why would they want to sell you their
true.
captain?
It's true. You're seeing the light, Gal. You're seeing the light. I got to bounce.
I'll
Rack.
catch you on the next one.
All of you, good luck this weekend.
Oh, wait. Who wins the cup final?
Ooh.
Quickly. Score predictions, people, in the chat.
Oh, damn.
That's the next topic.
The cup final, I think it's gonna go down to penalties, and then it's anyone's guess.
There you go.
I can't predict it.
You have a good one.
Not again.
For the sake of football, I hope it's extra time, and
You want Chelsea to win, right?
No, I could care less.
No.
I could care less.
So pick one.
I don't pick off my heart. Oh, my heart picking. You know what? I'm gonna go with my oil brothers, my former oil brothers.
All right.
I'm gonna go with
There's
them.
still oil brothers forever. Anyways,
Aluminium. I think that was what Abramovich was famous for.
That's
Sibnef.
what
No,
got sacked for.
gas.
Rack,
Yeah.
if you could just fix the camera because your head's like in the middle of the screen.
Sorry.
There you go. Okay, so and Jay also. What do you call it? Same thing. It's just your head. You got so much space ahead of you. There you go. Okay, so let's get into it.
My head, all right.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you guys go for it because I think me and Jay, we can give our 2 cents in after, but the reality is you two need to talk it out. Tell me what you guys are feeling, how your camps are feeling, how's everybody feeling. So my questions.
This is like the headmaster's office. This is like the headmaster's office.
My first question. So the way we're gonna do it is me and Jay are gonna kind of ask you guys questions that we want to know going into this game, and then you guys just let us know what you think. So my first question is, how confident are your fan bases going into this game? Liverpool with the injuries, and of course Chelsea with the situation you guys have been in all season and the lack of trust in your managers. How confident are your fans headed into this game, and how confident are you guys that you guys can come out with the result? So I'll start with you, Rack.
We're confident. We're confident. Obviously, it's slightly concerning with the number of injuries we have, but I think until we know different, we're going to assume that Salah and Nunez are going to be back fit. And you got Virgil at the back being imperious, back to his imperious self. Alisson's not going to play, but Alisson doesn't play in the Carabao Cup. That's always been a Kelleher competition, so that there's no real difference there. And yeah, look, we're in a good run of form. The Arsenal result turns out it was a blip, and it'll be stupid for me to say no, we're underdogs. No, we're I'm worried about it because I think if we play to our potential and Chelsea play to their potential, I think we're the better team. The only thing we could be our worst enemy if we're not motivated, but I don't see that happening. And yeah, I want to win. Obviously, it'll be nice to send Klopp away with some silverware, but we don't just want the Carabao Cup. We've got our eye on other things. I'm not going to say bigger fish to fry just in case anyone wants me to say it.
Fair enough. You're not going to do that. You did say that earlier in the season, though. Let's go not the exact same words, but you did say something like that when you were playing yesterday.
Sure. I think it was about the FA Cup and me saying if we could prioritize it. But yeah, sure.
Andrew, give me the psyche of the Chelsea fan base right now. How confident are the Chelsea fans going into this game?
Don't confuse confidence with desperation. That's what I would say. I think both teams are desperate for this trophy for different reasons. For Liverpool, I believe it's so they can guarantee Klopp something. This is the first thing they can guarantee. They can guarantee him something, at least leaving the season. Us, it's just to get something from this season that's looking bad league-wise. I don't think anyone's confident, even with Liverpool's injuries. I don't think we're confident. Because, funny enough, I have no idea what Liverpool's starting lineup is going to be Sunday with injuries and stuff like that. I didn't really count Alisson. I always thought Kelleher was going to start anyway. That was my because he started the last League Cup final against us, and he usually starts all the League Cup games. But with the Nunez injury, I've not seen anyone report what type of injury the Nunez injury is. or anything like that. Salah's one is a weird
I
one.
think he had a sore foot apparently with like a
Right.
clash of foot or someone starts prodding his foot or something like that.
I think Salah's one's reported like a hamstring potentially, something like that. So it's really hard to predict. I just hope we stick with the same lineup away at City. Now it's obviously Liverpool aren't going to play the same way against City. But for me, it'd be like not bringing Thiago Silva back into the lineup, and just keeping to the same. So it's a puncher's chance. I think back in 2022, it was sort of like the same thing. Liverpool were heavy favourites, and should be because of what they were going for in the league and where they are right now. Even with the injuries, Liverpool should be heavy favourites because they're top of the table and we're 10th. So, but we got a puncher's chance. It's a final, so we'll go there. We'll see what happens. We're not going there piping up going, yeah, we're going to smash them and stuff like that, because that's just unrealistic. But to say if any Chelsea fans going and going, yeah, we're definitely going to lose, why are you going? First of all, I don't understand that. But but second of all, just remember, it's a final, it's a cup competition. Most of the other fans will probably have Liverpool favourites, and that's understandable. They should be favourites, like I said. But it's not high confidence. It's more optimism, I think, if I'm being really honest. So with myself, it's more optimism.
Jay, what's your question for the Liverpool and Chelsea fans ahead of this big game?
I would ask you both, where do you think the game's going to be won and lost? As in, like, what do you think for you personally is going to be the biggest deciding factor in who wins this game?
Good question. Let's start with Andrew first this time.
So if we don't do what we did in the league game and have our midfield that open, I think we've got a puncher's chance. If we go the same as we did in the league game, then Liverpool just run through us and be 10 yards higher up than they were. If we make it more compact and we target players and we let, as much as I don't rate that much, if we say to Gallagher, literally just clamp someone like a McAllister or something like that and take them out of the game, then that will give us a chance. If we can like have Gusto clamp Diaz, not like doing dirty foul him, just like take him out of the game as like someone to use, then we have that chance. That's why I would go with the same team that started with City and try and play them on the counter attack. The funny thing is, I think both teams would rather the other have more of the ball in this game. If I'm honest with you, I think Liverpool fans, what I've been watching, I've been saying, give Chelsea more of the ball because then they don't know what to do with it. And maybe that is so. Maybe we work better than that. But I think if we had the midfield more compact than it was in the league game, then that's where we could stand more of a chance. So that's why I think midfield as always is going to be key.
Midfield. What are you saying, Rock?
Look, I understand if Chelsea need to lock down that midfield better, and that gives them a fighting chance. Because we did, like as Andrew was saying, we did play through them quite easily in the league game. I'm pretty confident defensively, so I think we have the tools to be able to control that portion of the game. The interesting thing is going to be how we deal with our attack against their relatively new defence with Disasi and Colwill, because obviously Thiago Silva has been playing a lot, and now it may be a blessing in disguise for him to be injured, because I guess the idea is that they can then play a little bit higher up and play more in our half. But if we can harry them and press them and get them to lose the ball in dangerous areas, then we have the potential with Salah's pace, with Darwin's pace, and the fact that our midfield has been pretty good recently in terms of like backing up the forward line. Endo's come back and he was playing well before. He was playing well before he went to the Asia Cup, but he's come back and he's playing well again. McAllister has been excellent. I do have a concern about our third midfield player, who that's going to be. But I think if we can do what we should do in terms of our forward line, then we'll win the ball back enough to be able to create enough chances. And if we get enough chances, I think we'll score the goals that we need to score to win it.
Okay. Now, are either of you guys concerned about your history amongst each other? Just a quick question, because you guys have seen a lot of tight games that have gone to penalties, a lot of situations where it's just been very much 0-0s or 1-1s between you two. Are you guys looking at history in this moment and saying, you know what, somebody needs to be a little bit more positive, not see the same situation as the last couple of years? Maybe Andrew, because of course it has led to your team losing.
So I think both teams do not want extra time because we both got FA Cup ties midweek. So I think if managers are smart, they're gonna try and start with the strongest lineups possible to get it done within 90 minutes, because both play, I think, Wednesday or Thursday or something like that this week with the FA Cup midweek games. Good one, FA, by the way. So I think we'll look towards that. I think you're right. I think the Chelsea need to get the hoodoo of Wembley, because it used to be actually a good ground for us, but the last few, we've lost a lot of cup finals there recently. So we need to get that hoodoo off our back. Poch needs to get the hoodoo off his back of not winning anything in England as well. That comes into it. But yeah, I think, and also with Liverpool, they're still in three other competitions. So it's like, and with the injury crisis growing at Liverpool, they probably want to get this game, whether it's win or loss, or get it done within 90 minutes, because they go another 30 minutes after that. They've got the FA Cup game going on, and the squad's now had a lot of injuries. So yeah, I think going back, I would like to get it done as quickly as possible. I would actually have loved it to be a 12:30 kickoff, just to piss off Liverpool fans, because I know they don't like 12:30 kickoffs. So that was my bit. But no, we need to get it done as quickly as possible, because of the games coming up, and it's not going to favour anyone. It will favour you, probably. Gal, want it to go 120 minutes of Liverpool, because it will help you possibly, and you're not playing midweek.
Liverpool are inevitable. They always find a way. These guys, they find ways to win even when they're not playing well. Jay, do you have a question for Rack? Jay, sorry.
I was just watching. I was watching Xabi Alonso's little thing. I just got it going. The old. So yeah, no. I want to ask, right? So, how important is this game to both sides? I think, obviously, personally, from a personal point of view, I look at the game and I think to myself, well, for Chelsea, it's huge, because top 8 for where Chelsea are right now, it looks quite far. Looks like quite far away. It'll be quite a big accomplishment. Something I said, Ego. Be quite a big good accomplishment to see how it plays out, and if they can get top 8, top 7. But to both teams, how important is this game? I mean, obviously, you've got a quadruple, Rax. I'm not going to say the quadruple, but it's
You can say it.
There is something about Liverpool these off-kilter bootleg trebles and quadruples. You know what I mean? It's like only fools and horses. Do you know what I mean? It's close to the original, but it's just subtly different. But yeah, looking at it, is this a big? I know it's just the League Cup, but how big a game is this to both sides, do you reckon?
You know what? I think it's for us, it's taken on more significance because of the season and the situation with Jurgen leaving. I think going into the season, I don't think it was high on the list of priorities. I think, me personally, I didn't know where we were going to land. I didn't know what to expect after the awful season we had last year. I was thinking potentially worst case scenario: are we going to get top 4? Because yes, last season was shocking. It was. You want to talk about things that are unrecognizable. Last season we were unrecognizable, and it was really concerning. So, but now we know that Jurgen Klopp is going to be leaving, and for everything he's done for the club, we obviously wanted to send him off with a trophy. I'm sure he wants that as well. And also, there's other silverware on the horizon. Thing is, we've got one game and we win a cup. With the FA Cup or with the Europa League, we've still got rounds and rounds to play. We have one game now, or the day after tomorrow, and if we win that game, we get the silverware. So that's so close that we may as well try our best to win it. And yeah, so if anything, it's maybe sentimental rather than because we all know that of the 4 potential trophies that any team can win in the season, the Carabao Cup is probably the least significant in terms of prestige, but maybe we can use it as a springboard. What I will say, it was fun to win it last time, and it wasn't the best game, but Liverpool-Chelsea games are, we are rivals, and it's a rivalry that came out of the Abramovich era, but we have a bit of a disdain for each other, and I still think that in general that disdain remains. And because before that, I don't know if there really was much of a Liverpool-Chelsea rivalry, or I think Liverpool fans. I think it stems from the fact that,
right?
Yeah, but I think it also stems from the fact that because Abramovich came in and spent so much money, we had the feeling that we were potentially on the cusp of challenging for top trophies and stuff like that. And then Chelsea came along, and
I think it's because we faced each other in Europe like for 5 years straight.
Chelsea win.
I think that's true. But the Benitez what's his name, Mourinho thing was a thing. But I also got the feeling that Liverpool fans had a feeling that we were close to stuff, and then Chelsea came along, spent so much money, and came out of nowhere, and was suddenly taking some of the trophies that we could have competed for, and it kind of felt a bit of it felt unfair. That's what I mean as well. Kind of like it does with City, to be fair.
And because for nearly 2 summers straight, we nearly signed Mr. Liverpool. That's probably why they're pissed off at us.
There's so many different elements. There's only like little things that happen, right?
I got a question here from somebody in the chat, and I think this is pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious.
I wonder who.
If I see Chelsea win a Carabao Cup trophy in a year where they're finishing 10th, 12th, wherever it is, they're gonna walk around and say we're still winning trophies while you guys haven't won a trophy in how many years? They're gonna start.
Whoa! Igal, is that not the rhetoric that you pushed when Spurs were finishing higher than Arsenal and Arsenal was still picking up FA Cups? Is that not the exact same narrative that you and your club as a fan base were pushing too? Yes. Sometimes you die a hero or you live long enough to become a villain, Igal.
Listen, the reality situation is if they win the trophy, they fully deserve to criticize anybody who hasn't won anything. Because right? Well, I don't want them to be in that situation. 1. Number 2, I am on the record saying this Chelsea team will amount to nothing this season. If they go and win a cup, it will come back to nothing. It will come back to bite me, because as for the league, everything I've said about them has been verbatim correct, even to the point where their fans are now starting to get on the manager and they have no patience, to the fact that they're now starting to realize that the owner is the real issue, and the way that he's running the club has not been up to the same standard as before. And now they're finally realizing that the expectations of Roman Abramovich do not apply to the new owner, in my opinion. But hey, that's a conversation for another day. Long story short, if Chelsea Football Club win, it would be to the detriment of my life.
That's not just my football club, my whole life.
But that doesn't see that's if you don't win anything, right? If you win something like one of the big two, then
if I'm guaranteed the Premier League, guess what? You guys are still gonna say if I win the Champions League, there will be Chelsea fans out there that will say we won the same amount of trophies.
Yes, exactly. This is true.
Oh, yeah.
And this is
so no matter what.
This is the pettiness. But this is what I mean. This is the pettiness of football, right? I said this to you the other day, right? People were saying, "Oh, you haven't won a Premier League. You haven't won a Premier League," and then we won a Premier League, and then they just turned around and said, "Oh, you've only won 1 Premier League." Like, and if we won a second one, they'll turn around and say, "You've only won 2. What's wrong?" Yeah, exactly.
Bro, they forget that you won the fucking Champions League. They forget you won the Champions League twice in those 30 years. Of course. They forget you won the Europa League. They forget you won the FA Cup, League Cup. The reason why people make fun of Tottenham, Jay, is because you guys haven't won anything since my little brother was born.
Okay, so first of all,
I'm not sure that's the exact reason why.
Exactly.
Your little brother should be brought into this
Right.
conversation.
Yeah, like obviously, but also I'd like to add, like, the thing is that sometimes when, and I'll be with Spurs, sometimes you get to a point where, I'm not saying Spurs jumped winning League Cups and stuff, but Spurs got to a point when they were trying to win the league, they were trying to win the Champions League, like they didn't jump it, and they still wanted to. We still needed to win trophies, but they made a conscious decision to try and swing for the fences and didn't land, and that's why Spurs have to hold it. But loudest people about Spurs' failure, Arsenal fans, and now 4 years without winning a trophy, soon to be 5 years, yeah, potentially, which is the same entire length of Mauricio Pochettino's tenure at Tottenham. 5 years.
You can't do that because Arteta won a trophy.
Because people don't critique Spurs on.
Oh my God, you got to see this Leverkusen goal. This goal.
I've just seen it.
Oh my God.
Which one?
This goalie literally handed them the win. He literally handed them the win. He literally handed them the win. He handed Leverkusen the win. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's Leverkusen's year. It is their year. It is their year. Listen, we can't show the goal, but it must be crazy.
It is one of the worst goalkeepers.
Now.
Oh my God. It's the worst goalkeeper.
Oh. Is it
like Karius levels?
It's like Karius. You know, when he touches it, but he goes in the net anyway. Like, he should stop it.
Yeah.
Guys, for the sake of the show, let's try to bring it back quickly. We'll check out the Leverkusen stuff another day. There's I know Rack has to go, so we're just gonna do our score predictions, and then me and Jay have to talk about a certain married show that's coming on Amazon. That's mental. I seen you tweeted about it. This looks crazy.
It looks fun. It looks fun. Have you seen Married to the Game?
Married to the Game.
The trailers.
The trailers are amazing.
Yeah,
you got Trzaskowski's wife talking about how she loves shagging. It's mental. It's actually mental. Okay, now you guys think I'm a sicko, but the reality is she actually said that. Like,
out of all the clips you could have mentioned, Miguel.
what about Jorginho's wife asking for a wedding ring?
Well, I mean, I probably would have opened with that, Miguel, but you stick to you and James Tarkowski shagging. I know your interest levels. Don't worry about that.
Listen,
I'll discuss
all I know is there's going to be a lot of the game's gone tweets after that show airs, because there's going to be bare.
Nah, I can't. That's such a bad mistake by the goalie.
All right, Jay, what's your score prediction for the final? Because I'm going with the win. I'm going with the 2-1 Liverpool.
There's not much analysis on this final, but really, this is a hard game to call because Liverpool are decimated. Chelsea should. If I was Chelsea and I lost to this Liverpool side, I would be aghast. If I had like
Chelsea still have more injuries though,
bro. What do you mean? Chelsea are virtually full strength.
Andrew just rolled his eyes at you.
No, it's true, Andrew. A lot of these guys who are injured are like you recently.
Who's injured? Reece James is always injured. He doesn't count.
I think if I'm being honest, I would, like I said to you earlier, if we go with the same team that went with against City, I'm very good with that. There's no player apart from that there's no player out injured that would come in straight away. That's
what I'm saying. There's no one missing that goes into Chelsea's first.
Wesley Fofana, Thiago, Lavia,
Robert
Sanchez.
Oh my God.
Sanchez.
I remember him.
Let me learn. Badiashile, Leslie, Cucurella, Chukwuemeka. I don't know how to pronounce his name. And then
you butchered that, man. You butchered that.
Now let me read Liverpool's injuries. Is this true that Trent, Thiago, Bajcetic, Salah, Joe Gomez, Dominic Szoboszlai, Diego Jota, Darwin Núñez, Curtis Jones, and Ben Doak plus Alisson Becker are all out? Is that?
Yes. Yes.
Wait, Gomez?
Well, some of them are question marks. Some of them we don't know. Like Salah, we don't know.
None of those players played against Luton, Igal.
No,
I would
Gomez
say-
is fit. Did I
Anyway,
say Gomez? Gomez is
Yeah,
fit.
you said Joe Gomez.
Gomez is fine.
Oh,
When did I say Gomez?
I don't know. You read it.
You said, well, listen. All I'm saying is that, like, if I'm Chelsea should win this game. They really should. Like, Chelsea have got a first. If Chelsea can't beat this version of Liverpool, Bowley needs to just wrap it up. Do you know what I mean? Go buy a hockey team or something, because it's a wrap. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, Chelsea are in a position now where it's all. And credit to Chelsea. Chelsea have had a hard run to the final. Like, it's been a hard run, to be fair to them. You had to beat Brighton. You had to beat
But we
Newcastle.
played like Middlesbrough and Blackburn.
Yeah, we played Middlesbrough in the semi,
Wimbledon.
but like you've had to play some good teams to get here. So it's been a pretty hard run.
And Newcastle's the toughest one.
Newcastle, yeah. So all I'm going to say now is looking at it that I think Chelsea are favourites based on the players that are available, really. But I think Liverpool. I probably have to backdate his take. It's going all the way, maybe. I think Liverpool force of will. But the narrative, like, listen, Spurs are cursed. So the narrative of Poch winning a trophy with Chelsea in the first season makes so much sense.
But
I'm going to give it
Chelsea.
I'm going to give it Chelsea 2-1.
So I think no matter what the injuries are to Liverpool, I think this Chelsea team performs better when they're not favoured to win at this current time. I honestly do. Like last week against City, when they're not favoured to do anything. So no matter what, the thing going on at Chelsea, the training ground should be Liverpool are favourites because they're top of the league and we're 10th. Okay? I know it's a cup game, but that's the mindset it should be. And that's that the players will love that because they're not favoured to win and they can go out and hopefully win the game. I think the 4-1 game has been an aberration out of our last few games. It's always been draws. 2 cup finals before draws, and we argue have better overall teams. Then I think I'm going to go 2-1 to Chelsea after extra time. I cannot take another penalty shootout. I really can't. I know I don't want extra time either, but I cannot do another penalty shootout at Wembley against this lot. I just can't.
Rack, could you do another penalty shootout?
No. I think it'll be a cagey game. I think we'll get ahead, and I think we'll hold out and we'll win 1-0 because finals are always tough and nerve-wracking. And obviously, although we had a good performance the other day, I think that Chelsea will be up for the game. So I don't, unless we get an early goal. If we get an early goal and that deflates Chelsea significantly, I think that could then it could become more. But right now, I've got to stand for a 1-0 win.
All right, fair. Rack, I know you gotta go, but there's just one more game that I quickly want to talk about. If you want, you can jump out. But we're gonna just talk about Manchester United Fulham. I don't know if you guys know Manchester United.
Manchester United to lose. Manchester United to lose.
They have an injury crisis.
I'll see you guys later on.
Much love.
So Manchester United have an injury crisis. Do you guys expect them to win this game versus Fulham, even without Rasmus Højlund now out?
Well, where's the goals coming from?
I honestly don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Who goes up? Is Martial? Well, I was about to say if Martial.
They're apparently they're gonna play an academy kid.
What?
Nah. It'll probably be Anthony on the right, Garnacho on the left, Rashford through the middle. And then
their injury crisis is Malacia. I didn't even know he was injured, to be fair.
He's been out for most of the season, so it's not...
Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount, I forgot he even played for them. Luke Shaw, he's been injured for majority of the season. Martinez, you forget how much Martinez was impactful for them.
He's picked
up.
And then Anthony Martial, is he ever fit? Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You know what? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, when he's available, he's serviceable. But it seems like lately he's out of favor because Diego Dalot has been playing a lot.
Dalot's improved this season.
Can you really call that an injury crisis when we just looked at Liverpool and Chelsea's injury lists?
No, because you're right. Even on our list, there are players I wouldn't count because they haven't really played anything this season. Same with Manchester United. I wouldn't count Malacia or Anthony Martial. or really even Martinez, because he's been out most of the season, and Luke Shaw goes injured anyway. But it's more the case that the only injury that would concern me as a United fan is Rasmus Højlund. That's the only injury on that list that would concern me. He's the only one scoring. Even last week, and shamelessly, they gave Garnacho that assist when it bounced off Højlund's chest. That's why I don't like assists. But he's the only one. He's the only one getting goals. Even the attempts are really falling to him. They had 4 1-on-1s against Luton last week and didn't take them. Even Højlund missed a 1-on-1. But then again, do we really favour Fulham doing anything? What's Fulham's? I don't know what Fulham's recent record is. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if Fulham, even with this injury crisis, can go up there and get a win, or even. Do you know what I mean? It might be the draw. Might be the actual odds-on favourite result this weekend. Do you know what I mean? So like a 0-0 or 1-0 or something like that. Because where do Man United get the goals apart from Højlund? Someone's going to say Garnacho? Okay. And Rashford down the middle never works. It just never works. Rashford down the middle. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't like it. So it's and Anthony. I mean, come on, please, Anthony. I mean, I wouldn't want to wish injury on anyone, but if you could swap an injury for another player as a Man United fan, you take Anthony out and put Højlund in, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? That's what you do. But I don't know where the goals come from. I really don't. But you know the problem with Man United. They're the best shithousery team in this league at this moment in time.
They've got some horror, like some of the late results they've got, like over the last 3 games are just mad to go through.
They just pick. Everyone else can play bad and not get a result, but they can get a result.
The only reason why you're saying that, Jay, is
the Villa and Wolves ones, especially the Villa and Wolves games. That's 4 points. That's 4 points additionally they picked up in 90+ minutes. So
Villa game as well, when they should have at least got points there. Yeah. And last
week, we could honestly say the same thing about every team that's near the top.
Not with the level of regularity.
Look at Liverpool. Look at Liverpool, Arsenal, and City. How many times this year do they go down and they win?
No, there's a difference because you will play good in bigger patches during the game, or you'll be more efficient, like machine-like. Man United aren't machine-like. Do you know what I mean? They're just not. They're not able, because they give up so many chances. Just the other team doesn't take them. I mean, against Luton, they should have won by more, but they just shithouse their way to victories. It just happens. They're the best at doing it. Ten Hag is doing an ollie at the moment in terms of he's like 1 result away from getting the sack, and then he goes on a 3 or 4 game winning run. It just happens. It just happens all the time. That's why they're up. I mean, legitimately, if they win tomorrow. And it's not to rattle you, Jay. I think they go level on points for you, don't they? Because you don't play tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So they go, look, that's how shithousery they are. They find
I don't think they'll go bubbles. I think they'll go level on points with those.
No, level. I said level. Yeah, level. They will not go. Yeah, they'll go level. They won't go above because they're gold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And for us to be level on points with United would I think United have had over the last 10 games and stuff. They've been winning a lot of games. You know, the Premier League is a league that if you can put 5-6 wins in a row together, you'll shoot up the league. Yeah,
exactly. You go like several places up. It's the middle of the ground. After the top 3, maybe top 4-ish, like you said, 2 or 3 wins, you literally leapfrog teams and you're in a top 4 race. Near and up. It's just madness. But going back to this game, I do expect them. Do you know what? I expect them to eke out a 1-0 win. Because they're just like that. I just do. Even without Højlund, I expect them to eke out 1-0. Because the thing is, Fulham, I just don't trust them to do anything. Fulham.
Fair enough. Let's wrap it up there, guys, because there's not much more to be talking about this week. It's a very somber week to get into. It's gonna.
I'm feeling okay. What are you somber about?
Well, you got finals to prepare.
What are you somber about? Yeah.
What does somber mean?
I mean, you're down and because
the reason why I'm saying it's sad is because there's not as many games as normal.
Oh, okay. All right, okay. Cool.
I thought you guys were saying it's like something else. I'm like, the hell?
No, you made it sound somber, like you were sad or this.
No, when I say somber, I mean like the week is down in compared to what it usually is.
Right, okay, cool.
Because usually there's a lot more games, there's a lot more hype.
But then next week there's all the midweek FA Cup games. So there's loads of football next week.
Yeah, we're not playing, so it is what it is.
Okay, cool.
There you go. We get a week off. Positives. Let's keep it
Good for
moving. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I really do appreciate everyone who's jumped on. Go check out Casual FC. Go to Jordy Dread TV for specs. Vader Games. Of course, Rack was also on. Big up to Rack. Jay, Winter Surfer, really do appreciate you guys joining me for today's show. And I hope everybody enjoyed the Friday. And I'll catch you guys on the next day. When is the next show? Probably tomorrow after we beat Newcastle. So you guys
positive vibes.
You catch us tomorrow after we beat Newcastle. And you guys got anything else to say before we go, guys?
Nah.
Just subscribe to this channel.
Yeah.
You guys have yourself a wonderful day. I'm out of here, people. Peace. Love for the love.
Peace.